Hello and welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. The San Bernardino County Sheriff Coroner has a lot on his plate, and he's with us now to discuss some of those issues. Rod Hoops.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
What's keeping you busiest these days?
The budget. The things that are occurring up in Sacramento are having a pass down effect, so to speak, at the local level. So the budget is an everyday topic of discussion in my operation.
And how are you seeing it affect your operation?
Well, it's having a grave effect. We're looking at, our total budget is about $450 million, and of that, if you take out the contract cities and the jail operations, it's about a $150 million budget discretionary, and of that, we're looking upwards of a potential of a $21 million cut this next fiscal year.
It seems every year you're faced with budget constraints and even cuts. How is this different from previous years?
Well, this year, this is probably the beginning of the worst. Last year, we had about a $9 million deficit that we were able to fix with different scheduling for patrol operations and making some cutbacks and things like that. But this year, we're looking at probably a complete identification of what our service level is going to be to the citizens of our county, depending on what the budget number is. It's pretty critical, depending what that number ends up being. So,
have you started to see any practical differences in the service you can provide to the citizens, or any differences in the crime rate?
Well, the crime rate is down, as you probably know, and for the first time in modern history, the budget is not good, and crime is down. And
so, how do you explain that?
Well, the experts in the field can't even explain it. So we're at a loss of why that's happening. But I will say we have made promises to the citizens of our county that the cuts in services will not be at the patrol level. When a citizen in our county dials 911, a deputy sheriff's going to show up. We've been looking at cuts in our upper management and middle management and things like that, and we've began those over a year ago, making some of those cuts.
It might indicate you're more efficient.
We are more efficient, and some of the stuff probably needed to occur. But it's going to be a very interesting year if we have to take a complete $21 million cut. We have figured out a way to come up with $8 million of those cuts, but the other 14 or so is going to be a real challenge for us.
Well, this afternoon you have the ear of the governor.
Yes, we're going to be meeting with him at 1 o'clock. Some folks from San Bernardino County, as well as the law enforcement leaders and legislative leaders from Riverside County, are going to be meeting with him at 1 today.
And what do you want him to understand from you?
Well, the biggest thing that I personally want to understand is that both sides of the aisle, so to speak, have to come to some kind of consensus. The Republicans and the Democrats have to realize that it's time to sit down, roll your sleeves up, and actually come up with a budget. I truly believe that the majority of Californians are somewhere in the middle, and there has to be some cuts in social services that we provide, and there also has to be some continuation of revenue, whether you call them taxes or fees. There has to be kind of a give and take.
What about the issue of realignment? The governor is proposing shifting some of the responsibility from the state level to the local level, including the jails, which you oversee.
Well, it's very interesting. The realignment doesn't do a whole lot for us locally. If the governor were to send 2,000 inmates to San Bernardino County, we would simply, at this point in time, release 2,000 inmates from the local level back out into the street. We're going to be asking the governor today, when he talks about realignment, to make sure that there's funding available that comes with that realignment. And at the same time, we don't have the jail spaces right now, but we are in the process of adding 1,300 new beds to the Adelanto Correctional Facility. But again, that will not be in place until 2013. So we just don't want to have the state's problem handed to us at the local level without funding measures that will assist us with that.
More work at a time when you have fewer resources than ever before.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sheriff Rod Hoops, for being here today.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. And thank you for tuning in. Stay with us. More HLN next.